Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 3rd of January. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay. Well, we had an interesting day yesterday. We had this interesting looking setup at the start of the day. We have this lovely looking double bottom. You can see it formed, broke up slightly. That's the monthly pivot which it was testing there, and it failed hard into a lower low. Pretty standard and pretty bearish, and it could well go lower from here. We've seen a bit of a rally from the low yesterday, but I've got a lot more to say about this. We've got a nice looking double bottom setup here, and that is something I'm seriously considering here, but we've got almost no positive, or at least very little. In terms of ES here, we haven't quite retested the low, but we did retest the low yesterday on the SPX chart, and it's the SPX chart is the main one I would be looking at here. So we actually retested the lows on SPX, on NDX, on IWM, and on Dia as well. Across the board. So we've got a nice looking little series of what would be double bottoms, nice ones on IWM and Dia, and which would be lower lows on SPX and and NDX, because both of those went high enough that it ruled out the possibility of a double bottom. So this couldn't be a double bottom. So I'm not reading it as that, but I am still wondering if we might see a high retest. This is the inflection point where we decide whether we extend lower or whether we see a rally first. NQ, no positive divergence either. Watching this declining resistance on RTY. RTY, we actually had a we haven't quite retested the low here, but we have done, as I said, on the index charts. We have little inverted head and shoulders here. I was talking about it yesterday morning, and it broke up and it failed. Usually that would result in a retest of this low, and we haven't seen that yet. And I've got that at about 22.23. YM retested the low on both the future and the on the index, and this obviously could be a potential double bottom. RTY doesn't look much like a double bottom, but actually this could very much be a double bottom as well. And it looks like one on IWM. On DAX, I'm wondering about ABC, but it could be that we're just forming a triangle instead. ESTX, we have made a higher high, so that could well be an ABC. Do we have any decent resistance trend lines? Yeah, actually, well, not awful. We will see. This could well be a bad flag which is about to turn down. But I think we're looking at an inflection point here where we could see an extension quite a long way lower, or we could see a decent rally here, possibly even including a retest of the high on NDX and SPX. This is how it looks on IWM, and this is that is a lower low, because remember a week ago I was saying that see the rally, then I would expect to see a lower low. We've seen lower lows across the board on the RTH indices, only just, but nonetheless. We could have reversal patterns here that could turn up, and we don't have a lot to go on in terms of positive divergence, although we do have a weak RSI 14 buy signal fixed on IWM, and you can see here we've got the double top which is broken down with the target considerably lower in about the 206 209 area, and we have a potential double bottom which could reverse up early, but equally could just be yielding a rally before we go down and see that target. All right, let's have a look at those on the other bigger picture charts. On Dia, nice looking double bottom, lower low. This is a nice looking setup. No positive divergence on the 15-minute, but we do again have an RSI 14 buy signal fix, so I'm wondering about it. It's we will see how that goes. On the Qs, obviously the rally was too high for this to be a double bottom. Doesn't mean we can't see a rally, it just means there's no obvious reversal pattern. We've still got a 15-minute buy signal fixed, and we've actually got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed here too. On SPX, again, the rally was too high for this to be the second low of a double bottom. So, but nonetheless, we can see a decent rally here just without a reversal pattern here. I'm watching this declining resistance here in about the 58.98 area, and we'll see how that goes. And on the hourly chart, again, we've got a fixed 6-minute buy signal. But none of these are particularly new. We've got nothing really fresh. We've got a possible daily RSI 5 buy signal brewing on IWM, but in terms of the rally at the beginning of last week, I basically said across the board rally highly likely. We had a load of positive divergence there. We haven't got that yet. So we've just got an inflection point. We've got a series of promising reversal setups here, and I think the key level I'll be watching today is again the monthly pivot at 59.94.50. Break up from that, and we could do a very decent rally here. Fail there, and it's not going anywhere, and chances are it's going lower. And if it goes lower, we've got a lot of patterns suggesting it might go a lot lower. Here is the head and shoulders pretty much complete on SPX. If we see a breakdown from here, then as I recall, the target would be in about the 55.75 area. Although it looks as though it might actually be a bit lower at about the 55.50 area. On the Qs, we don't have an obvious reversal pattern here. On Dia, this could be a head and shoulders upsloping. It's not great. If so, it would already be breaking down, but really the two decent patterns here would be on SPX and IWM. All right, going back to IWM, obviously we've got the double top there. That's already broken down, but I think we're looking at a significant extension lower if we see a failure to break up here, and it wouldn't surprise me to see that. I think we are owed lower prices soon. Could see a rally first, could even see a retest of the highs on NDX and SPX first, but nonetheless, I think it's coming fairly soon. All right, looking at DAX. DAX is below the daily middle band. We've got do we have a week? No, sorry, I haven't updated this. I'll be updating it this weekend. We're back below the daily middle band. No sign of it getting back above at the moment. And Nikkei has been pretty strong, and we're still up at the daily upper band. I'm still wondering if we get a decent rally in the not too distant future, whether we'll do a retest of this high here at 42.4K. I'm not seeing much reason at the moment to think that we won't. All right, let's have a look at the DX chart. Okay, DX has gone higher here. Doesn't really look like a double top, but this could be a part-formed head and shoulders. I'm going to try and get a post out at the weekend looking at the various currency pairs and putting the case for US dollar to reverse down here. That's not what I would like it to do. I'd love it to go up and retest 114.75. But I think there is actually, and I'll be showing a fair amount of evidence to suggest that it's probably more likely to reverse back down here. We will see how that goes. ZB, I was looking for a rally here on ZB a few days ago. We have seen it. This looks like a bear flag forming, and probably is a bear flag forming. CL has gone higher. I'm wondering whether we might see a resistance test of the main resistance up here, which is the 200 DMA and the 76.5 area, and I'm thinking we might do that. No current negative divergence and not likely to get any short term. NG, this still looks like a bull flag forming, but we could be seeing a bit lower than that. We're below the monthly pivot now. But I have to say this has the look of a bull flag. And I'm not seeing anything compelling on the bigger picture suggesting this is about to come down hard. On GC, this looks like a bear flag forming. But in the event that we do see the dollar turn down hard here, chances are this will go up anyway. We do have a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed. We had one of those fixed yesterday on SI, although it was a lot weaker, and that broke. We've got a nice looking potential level bottom here, but this again could be a bear flag forming. On HG, we went and retested the low. We've got a little double bottom here, which is breaking up with a target in about the 411 area, and we've got a possible larger, very symmetric double bottom, but potentially an inverted head and shoulders here, which I'm watching with resistance in about the 4.155 area. Okay, one of the things I'm going to be showing here is the USD JPY chart, which is looking as though it may see a reversal here. This would make a very nice head and shoulders, or alternatively be interpreted as double top. But again, this looks very much like topping action. KC, this still looks like a bull flag forming. SB is, I think, maybe forming an inverted head shoulders, right shoulder here. So watching that with interest. And we'll see. But if we're going to see some upside action here, we're really going to need to see a breaking conversion of the monthly pivot at 20.07. CC, this could still be a bull flag forming. Watching with interest. ZW, crawling very slowly higher. This looks like a little bull flag forming, setting up a retest this high here in the 556 area. On corn, well, this could be a double top. and I'm watching it to see whether it is. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed, which I haven't got marked in, but it is pretty weak. I'm hit and miss about when I mark those in. I'm not really that convinced of all of them. Okay, looking at soy, where my trend line has wandered. Hang on. That's actually a pretty nice trend line. We've got a decent looking rising wedge here, and I'm thinking this may well break down and deliver a retracement. That could just be a bullish retracement, or it could set up a retest of the low. We will see how that goes. Hang on. Looking at cotton. Still got a potential large nested double bottom here. We could see a major reversal and a big move up. Lumber, I've been looking for a retest of the low. We're almost there. This could be the second low of a double bottom when we get there. Live cattle, I was looking for a retest of this this high, and we've seen it. No obvious sign that it's about to turn back down. And lean hog still looks like a possible bull flag for me. And at the moment, that's what I'm treating it as. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions, of which we have. All right, well, happy New Year to you too, George. Everyone, happy New Year. Right, why is my WTO rallying and where to? Let's have a look. All right, bear with me a moment. Let's show you what I'm seeing there. Alrighty. All right. Looking at the daily chart here, obviously on the bigger picture, we've got this triangle which has broken down, and I've got a target there at 63.57, and I'm wondering whether overall here we're forming a flag. That flag could go higher. It could equally be a triangle. If we were to draw, hang on, wait a second, I'm just going to draw a couple of things in here to show this breakup is something I was wondering whether it would happen, and it could be that we are forming a larger continuation from here, and it could be that we're forming basically another bearish triangle. That would have resistance in about the 76 area. That's quite an attractive target because this here is the 200 DMA, which is in the 75.50 area, and that was resistance last time, and really it was resistance the time before. I'm wondering if we might hit it again. And that is the obvious resistance level now that we've moved out of this shorter term consolidation area. Am I thinking we'll break up from there? No, I think it's probably unlikely. Apart from the else, we're going to hit a much bigger resistance trend line here, which is this one here. And that's not too far above it. Break above that, and I think actually we might have a real breakout to the upside. Am I seeing any reason for a breakup to the upside? Not really. Trump's going to be bearish for oil. He wants to turn the pumps on and produce as much as possible, and well, that increases supply, and that tends to depress the price. So I'm still liking my 63.57, which is the obvious next technical target. Could we see a bit more of a rally? Yes. Could that give us a nice shorting opportunity? Yes, I think it may well. So we will see how that goes. But that's where I'm seeing it as. But basically, what we've done is we've gone through one level of resistance and we're going to the next, where it's probably going to fall. All right, let's have a look at ES again. Okay, we're seeing a rally here. There's an inflection point here. It's nice. I'm going to do a post about it this morning, and I'm leaning towards this failing here. But it could have a shot. I mean, if we had more positive divergence here, I'd be more optimistic about this delivering a rally, and it could deliver a rally. But I think there's a lot of pressure to the downside. If we break and convert the monthly pivot, then the rally is on. And I've got that at 59.93.50, and that's where we failed yesterday. But I think unless that happens, I'm leaning towards more upside. Downside. And I think we'll break down, and I think we've got some big patterns, and I think we might start playing those out. I mean, none of those would be huge patterns. We're not talking about huge moves down. We're talking about a decent looking retracement, and that will probably, my lean would be followed by a decent rally, which might well involve high retests. We will see how it goes. One way or another, make no mistake, where we've come into what may well be one of the most interesting years we've seen on the equity markets in quite a while. I think it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of news, some of which will seem quite random, and markets will react pretty strongly to some of that. I think we can have big big stuff happening on bonds this year. This is going to be a really interesting year. In the short term, we've got some downward pressure here. I'm not seeing this as a great reversal setup, but it is a setup, and there is an inflection point here. We'll see how it goes. All right, great. In that case, I think it's a wrap. I will catch you guys on Monday. Everyone have a great weekend.